Greetings, Cleveland, and welcome to Creative Focus, the show that illuminates some of Cleveland's most creative artists across the genres of dance, film, music, theater, and visual art. I'm your host, Cornell Calhoun III, and today I am thrilled to have as my guest on Creative Focus, actress, writer, director, producer, filmmaker, Miss Erin, the Gap Tooth Diva Reynolds. Erin, welcome to Creative Focus.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank you
chop
for
it
that.
up, girl. Let's chop it up. Okay, so, I'm so impressed with you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because what we do, filmmaking, it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
So early on, as a young person, I realized that I was a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then in undergrad, I discovered theater. I'm undergrad, Talladega College, Talladega, Alabama. You got to give the shout out to the people who gave you the start. And so after performing for 4 years at Talladega College in the little theater there, I had an opportunity for them to produce one of my shows, The Chocolate Garden, which basically was about a black family moving into a white neighborhood in Cleveland, Ohio. And then from there, I was fortunate enough to have Karamu produce some of my shows, a couple of my shows. So watching the play go from the page to the stage, I said, okay, I could direct. So then I started directing. So then once I got a little money in my slides, our production company, Calhoun Blue and Tribal Productions, we started films. So for us, it was a process. I mean, you just leaped over everything and just started as an actress, a film director, producer, big-time film and record. Explain to us the process and how you, I call you a hybrid because you just leaped over. I mean, I wish I had that ability to do that. So explain it to me.
Well, thank you for that. But for me, I started off acting, and once you get told no so many times, it's like you have to make your own lane. So for me and my friends, we got together and we really just wanted to start making real footage, so we had more things to go with. A lot of times with auditions, of course, you want to get parts so you could build out your reel. No matter, I guess, I don't really like to call things like small parts or anything like that because they all matter to the person that wrote them.
Exactly.
So even going with like indie movies and indie productions, you just want that real footage to continue to build momentum. Well, if you're auditioning and you're not getting the yeses that you need, then you have to make your own lane. And that's pretty much what happened with me. I just started writing my own stuff and I wanted to make my own lane so I can basically build real footage, but then I did grow to love it. So that's what happened.
Okay, so give us a little bit about your background.
My professional background?
Yeah.
I went to school for aeronautics and
Wow.
then I was on the set of Judas and the Black Messiah, and I will say that it changed my life. It made me want to be on set. Like, I felt so comfortable there. I felt like I was supposed to be there. And when it was over, I was sad. I was like really sad. So I was like, no, I need to get back on set. So I just made up in my mind that I am an actress, and then I just went for it. And then filmmaking followed.
Okay, so what transpired after that experience on the set of that major motion picture? That was a major motion picture.
Yeah, it was like, it really did change my life. And I was just background. A lot of times people don't realize the gravity of what that is. Like, if you're like background, and a lot of times people are like, oh, it's like, it doesn't really mean anything, but then it's depending on the experience that you have, it could change things for you. So about maybe, I didn't do anything pertaining to acting for about 3 months, but I made a lot of friends on that set that were adamant about being actors, and I feel like, so you say that I jumped over a lot of things. Well, that's because I was able to connect with a lot of people. I was open to learning from so many people, which made it more comfortable for me to just pursue it because I saw other people doing it too, and it felt realistic for me.
Okay, so now how, you have a real interesting story about how you shot, I think, Salad Dressing. Mm-hmm. So give us a little bit about that. Salad Dressing is a film that Erin wrote directed and produced, and we're going to show you some clips of that later on. But tell us how that came to be.
Okay, salad dressing. Was talking to a friend one morning, and I was like, we should make something. And he was like, okay. So then I got off the phone. It took me about 2 hours to write it. I actually made it. Like I said, like, I can't get up and eat or use the restroom, anything, until I was done writing this script. So I sat down for 2 hours straight and I just wrote. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna call you back when I'm done. And I called him back, and he was like, okay, I loved it. I met this guy, a filmmaker, on the side of the road, and I was like, let's shoot it. And he's like, okay.
Yeah. Tell me, where were you on your way to when you ran into your camera person?
I was taking a friend home. It was we were leaving something. We were leaving something, like taking pictures, a photo shoot, and I just saw this guy standing on the side of the road.
It was on Kinsman,
right, yes.
Right.
And he was taking videos of trains, and his name's Paul Springowski. He was taking videos of trains, and I was like, I'm supposed to know him. I don't know why I felt like that, but I was just like, I'm supposed to know him. So I turned around, and I turned around again. I was like, hey, and I asked him, like, are you making a film? And he was like, no, I'm just filming trains. And I was just like, okay, well, let's connect with each other. And then that's how we got to know each other. And then with all my other friends, and then my mentor, Clarence Gilmore, he was my mentor in aviation, and then he became my mentor in film as well, and we just made a film.
Yeah, Clarence, he's a member of our crew too.
Yeah,
so,
he's
he is a great guy. So, tell me about the title, Salad Dressing. Where did that come from?
Well, you gotta watch the movie.
Well, I watched the movie.
Yeah,
so
I know you watched the movie.
Okay, so
but
all right.
No, I'll tell you. So salad dressing is. Well, salad dressing is about relationships, and it's about people actually knowing the person that they're with. A lot of times people admire a person or they like certain things about a person, but they don't truly know them. And something as simple as knowing a salad dressing of your partner is really bigger than just like being able to brag about the different things that they do or the physical appearance of them.
Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that. So. Now I want to get into the Gap Tooth Diva. Mm-hmm. Where did that come from?
So I am a Gap Tooth Diva.
Okay, right.
But realistically, it's just empowering other women to accept things that may seem as a flaw, but the things that you actually love about yourself. Because a lot of times what I find, I don't know if this is like a universal thought, but people generally like things about themselves, but somebody else has made them feel like it was a character flaw, or not a character flaw, a physical flaw. Right. And they buy into that. But a lot of times people just like the way that they look, but then they start to compare themselves to a different norm or a different standard. But me, I've always liked my gap. But I will say that there was a time when I was younger that I did feel insecure about it because people would make fun of it. But I always liked it, which is why I didn't close it. So it's not necessarily beating a person to the punch, but it's like really embracing the part about me that I like. I have no desire to change it. So when you meet me, you're going to expect a gap tooth, or you're going to want to know what it's about. And so I lead with the Gap Tooth Diva, and then the company just follows with that. It's
the interesting thing about that, I admire that, because you've taken that. A lot of people, like you said, would have changed. You took it, and then you embraced it.
I love it.
I can remember there was a situation where I had a friend, and they used to call him Big. His name was Big Al, but they used to call him Big Gal. You know, they were trying to tease him, and so he started calling himself Big Gal. And once he started doing that, of course, then the negativism was gone. You know, so I admire that about you. Yeah. So tell us, what themes do you like? Are there certain themes that you like to pursue in your films, or do you write from experience?
A combination of both. I love love, so I like to touch on that. But then at the same time, I like to empower people, give them choices, give them options. And if you feel empowered to be able to make a decision, because a lot of times people can feel trapped in love, but if you feel empowered to be able to choose that person or choose whatever that love looks like, I think that that's more beautiful than I guess, traditional fairy tales. So just empowering people.
Okay, do you have a preference in terms of acting, directing, producing, or it doesn't matter? Because for me, initially I love to perform, but now I much rather direct and produce than perform. The only time I really perform now is if it's an August Wilson piece, like I just did Ma Rainey at Karamu in October. But if I have a preference, I want to stick primarily with directing and producing. What about you? Or does it matter? Or is it that you're so young now, it doesn't matter?
Maybe a combination of it. I actually sat and I thought about this, and I guess for me it would be the one that I would miss doing the most, and it would more than likely be acting. But I like the freedom and the opportunity that comes with writing my own stuff, so that's important to me too.
Do you think there's a greater difficulty between acting or directing? I mean, do you see that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have far more respect for the director on sets now because you learn your part as an actress. You learn your part and then you learn how you'll interact with other people. When you're directing, you need to know everybody's part and not just the people in front of the camera, but you need to be able to talk to the people behind the cameras to make sure that they are also fulfilling the things that you need for the production and just remembering a lot of stuff. So directors, I have so much respect for them because it's a different animal. But performing, of course, you have to be in a certain mindset to do it. So I'm not taking anything away from that, but directing is definitely different.
How would you feel about someone else directing something that you wrote or produced? Or, for example, I don't normally direct other people's work. I did initially, but now I'm at the point where, people call me all the time and say, hey, I want you to direct something. I just don't feel comfortable anymore directing other people's work. I can, but I'd much rather just direct my own. Do you care? Does it matter to you?
I would want that person to have the same emotional connection that I have to it, just so that what I see is actually coming to life. But at the same time, not on Valentine's Day, the second short film that I made, I did a lot that day. The crew was very small. It was about 3 people, and we were basically racing against the clock. We had to rent a place, and we only had it for a short period of time. And me trying to remember all the lines and then also remember all the actions, it was a lot. It was definitely something I was proud that I accomplished, but it became a lot. And if there were somebody else that was on the set that also had the passion and then the knowledge of what it was that I wanted to achieve in a capacity of a director, I felt like that could have alleviated some of the stress. So it's not something that I'm totally against. It's just something that I would want to sit down and really develop a game plan with that person so that I can give the best performance possible as a performer, and then at the same time maintain a quality in the film.
Do you have any favorites in the industry, favorite people that you aspire to be or that you would like to emulate?
I would say that I have great respect for Issa Rae. Just where she started, starting from YouTube, building a fan base, that traction, and then going forth and then acting in her own show and directing it. That's something that I really do respect. So I would say Issa Rae is very admirable.
Okay, are you an emotional person? Do you watch a film and cry? Do you watch a film and cringe? Or are you more of a laid-back person? Because years ago, I trained myself to cry. They always say men aren't supposed to cry, but a lot of times, a lot of roles that I had to cry. So I basically trained myself to cry. So now I can watch a TV series and tears will start rolling down my face. I'm doing all of this. You know what I'm saying? But so are you an emotional artist? Are you someone that can be moved to tears by a certain scene or no?
Yeah, actually, I've read auditions before and I got sad. So,
Okay.
yeah, I would say that I do feel. I would say I feel yes, and I do cry.
Okay, good. I like that. So we got that in common. So do you have a favorite film? If you could pick one film that really moved you or really touched you, what film would that be, and tell me why?
Pride and Prejudice. That's probably one of my favorite films.
Okay.
I think I'm like used to it now, but I have cried on Pride and Prejudice. It's just
Give me a scene from that made you cry, if you can remember. Because I'm trying to think of that. Who was in that film?
so the one with Keira Knightley, and then there's also a book and then a miniseries. I love all
Oh,
of them.
right. Yeah, right. So, and quick synopsis for the audience, maybe somebody who's not familiar with Pride.
So basically, there's a wealthy man, and then they say that she's poor, but she's really not poor. They have maids.
Okay.
But they come from like different worlds, and then they just have like prejudice against each other. And then he falls in love with her, and he tells her that he loves her, but it's in the rudest way. And then she responds to it like basically like, I don't want to be with you. And I was really sad that she didn't want to be with him. But then ultimately they end up together because she realized that she judged him and he also judged her.
Okay.
It's just really beautiful when they end up together.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I can't remember. You know, when you get old, you can't remember stuff. I can't remember that. Okay, so enough of that. What I want to do is I want to take a look at Salad Dressing, short film that the Gap Tooth Diva, produced, wrote, and acted in. So we're going to take a moment and take a look at this film.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I would love to take you out, even if it's just for coffee. Now, before you say no, hear me out. I eat here every Saturday, and I see you two have dinner. When I first saw you, I appreciated your beauty. But the second time I saw you, I experienced your beauty. There was a panhandler outside asking for money. Now, you didn't give him any. But you talked to him. You treated him like a person, an equal. You know, most of these people in here, they barely acknowledge the waiter, let alone the wino on the street. You even convicted me. I took a look at myself and how I treat people. You know, you have this calm about you that's peaceful, but not passive. This is probably creepy, weird, or even crazy. I know you got a thing we don't do, but I just couldn't wait another week and do nothing.
You ordered the salad?
Now see, that was incredible. Even more so for a first-time filmmaker.
Thank you.
So I got a question for you. What is your dream project? I mean, what do you want to, if you had an opportunity to rock the world, so to say, what would be your dream project? Or maybe in your case, your dream film or your dream role?
My dream role, I would want to play like a heroine of some sort.
A hero.
Yeah, like
Give me an example. I'll write it for you.
a superhero?
A superhero.
Yes, but I don't want to be like an obvious superhero, you know? Somebody that's like, I mean, obviously most superheroes are undercover. Nobody knows that they're a superhero, but maybe like a Luke Cage type deal. Maybe something more along those lines. I'm just a day in the life, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then I have to go save them, but nobody knows it's me.
Okay. You make it difficult for me. Would you say, because you're so young, do you remember soap operas?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever watch soap operas?
My mom used to watch All My Children. So
All My
yes.
Children. I used to watch All My Children.
Yes.
I used to watch All My Children, Ryan's Hope, and One Life to Live.
I don't remember the other two, but definitely All My Children.
Yeah, All My Children. Yeah, that was with Erica Kane. Yeah, okay. So you wouldn't like to do any drama?
Oh,
series?
definitely. You just said dream role, you know? Like, I just want to do like the Superman thing.
Superman.
But yes, I would definitely want to do like dramatic roles or just somebody that tells a profound story in history. So I like time period pieces as well.
And what impact would you like for your films to have on its audience?
I really just want them to feel like they have options, like they have choices in life, and you don't have to settle for what is there. But then also because like that's definitely the message I want people to get from salad dressing. But then the message that I would want people to get from Not on Valentine's Day, it is about relationships, but also the different types of relationships, friendships, because a lot of times people don't value friendships, and they kind of see it as like secondary to other types of relationships. But in Not on Valentine's Day, it really is kind of a question or a test of friendship or what you vow to be to a person at a particular point in life, and are you still going to hold true to that even if things kind of go south? So
Okay. And both of your films, Salad Dressing and Not on Valentine's Day, where could the audience watch them if they want to?
on YouTube. So
On YouTube,
yes,
okay.
they can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the Gap Tooth Diva. Everything is basically the Gap Tooth Diva.
Okay.
And they're right there, and you can see some of my other work as well.
The Gap Tooth Diva, right on your YouTube page. Okay. So, I would like to say that, again, I'm thoroughly impressed with your work, and also because you work with one of my production partners, Clarence Gilmore.
My mentor.
Your mentor, okay. She give you a shout out, all right? So, I would like to thank my special guests, the Gap Tooth Diva, for hanging out with us today on Creative Focus. So we're out, Cleveland. I'm your host, Cornell Calhoun III for TV20 and Creative Focus. And in closing, remember, a true artist is not only inspired, but inspires others. Until the next time becomes our time. Cleveland, be well, be safe.